You have a support team, not some universe has got your back kind of way, but specific individuals with functions coming to you to give you guidance along your path. Most people who are developing their intuition or psychic abilities think they've got a spirit team, but they don't know how to develop the relationship with them. That's where today's video comes in. I just want to take a moment and say this is something that I didn't fully understand until I went to Arthur Findlay College in England. Arthur Findlay is one of the most well-renowned schools for psychic and mediumistic development, and the tutors there taught me this very specific thing. I'm Emily Snyder, psychic medium for pets and for people, and I love to teach people all about their intuition. I've been developing my psychic mediumship for years, including that formal training in England, but talking to my spirit guides is one of the most practical things I do. Not mystical, practical. Let me show you what I mean. When I was in my first class at Arthur Findlay, the tutor gave me what they call a spiritual assessment. Now, this is a reading where the tutor looks specifically at your own spiritual development. In that reading, my tutor confirmed for me what I had already been seeing, hearing, and feeling from my main spirit guide, including some physical aspects of how he looked. I didn't know that was possible. I didn't know someone from the outside could see, hear, and feel the same things I was getting about my own spirit guides. Later, I took a follow-up class, which was specifically about meeting spirit guides, getting physical attributes, understanding their names and their purpose in your life, and most importantly, how best to connect to them. Since then, I've built on that ability, and that's what I want to share with you today. So let me tell you a thing or two about my other guides. I think this will make it feel more real. So I have a Victorian lady named Sarah. She's always dressed very practically in kind of a worker person outfit, including some very practical black boots. This is not a lords and ladies type of dress from the 1800s Victorian England. She is dressed more for the work and the job. And what's always most striking is that her hair always seems like a little frazzled coming out of her bun. It's almost as if she's been working this whole time while I've been off living my life, but I appreciate it. She helps me organize. She helps me stay on top of all of my tasks. And whenever I'm having a moment where I do feel disorganized, I call on her and she comes and stands next to me and we sort things out together. She's not glamorous, but she's super effective at her job. Another one of my guides is sparkly yellow. A yellow flitting light that comes to me in moments of creativity. That's it. No body, no voice, just a spark and a color. Now, it's always moving. It always feels a little electric, like there's energy attached to it. And I will tell you, in moments where I've needed creativity, I call on that spark and have it come as close as it possibly can to me. And I would say I usually feel her more than I see her because I feel kind of that electricity and it helps move me through the creative process. Now, those two couldn't be more different. We've got a yellow light spark and a Victorian lady, but that's exactly the point. Your guides are specific to you. They have distinctive personalities, ways of showing up, and functions in your life. They are not interchangeable. Let's talk about what spirit guides actually are. Let me tell you what I believe because it may be different than other definitions out there. I believe we have a collective consciousness. You can call it the universe or God or source. And for some people, when they connect to their spirit guides, they are actually connecting to that collective consciousness. So if you've ever felt like there's one source of that information, it may be that you're connecting to the collective consciousness. For most of us, however, we're connecting with an individual soul that's pulling from that collective consciousness. They can be humans, people who have lived and then get chosen to fulfill this role, including relatives of yours who have passed. They can also be kind of fictional and mystical, so wizards and dragons, warriors, healers, angels. They can be animals or color or light. Their form isn't random. It's telling you about who they are and what they're here to do for you. A wizard showing up for you, it's about knowledge and wisdom and a magical type of thinking. Your guide is saying, trust us and trust what you know. A warrior coming in, that's about protection and courage and walking into battle. They're here to support you in that really important meeting or that conversation you just don't want to have. Your guide is saying, we don't want you to do this alone. An angel, they're showing you the highest of intent, a being that has escalated themselves to pure love and joy in your life. A slightly disheveled Victorian lady in very practical boots, organization, obviously. The physical image that your guide uses to show you what they look like is actually part of the message. They're super efficient that way. It's a shortcut to what they're here to do for you in your own life. Here's something I want you to realize. They're not going to make you a visual person if you're not one. So if you're saying to me, I've never seen the physical outline or the embodiment of my spirit guide, it may be that you're more of a feeling person. So you may get a warmth or a coolness or a pressure or just a sensation that they're next to you. And for some people, spirit guides just drop in an all-knowing sensation. So if you get a word or an impression that feels like it came out of nowhere, that's your spirit guides using your claircognizance to talk to you in the way that is the best for you. And they'll start to repeat. So pay attention to how you're getting those sensations and messages. For me, when my Victorian lady shows up, there's a quickness to it, an efficiency, a briskness, and I know that we're here to do business. On the flip side, when my yellow light appears, it's almost like an expansiveness. There's energy abound, and it just keeps going out and out and out. This is not me, this is someone else, and that's key. It's almost foreign to your own body, but important nonetheless. That distinction between self and spirit guide will help you understand where the message is coming from. I want to give you something super practical. We're not going to do a deep dive into spirit guides today, but instead an introduction. So if you can find a quiet space to sit and just give yourself a moment to let your breath calm into a natural rhythm. Close your eyes if it feels comfortable for you. And then expand the energy outside of your chest into the room in which you sit. And then upwards towards the universe, towards spirit, and hold it there for a moment. And then internally ask, who wants to make themselves known to me now? Don't reach, just let it land. Don't construct, just allow. You might have gotten an image, an animal, a color, or even sensed a feeling of pressure or warmth. Whatever it is, even if it seems simple, just sit with it. Now let's ask them a series of questions. What do you look like? What do you like to be called? What is your function in my life? And how do I call on you when I need you? Now slowly take a deep breath in and come on back. You may want to write this down and pause this video because anything you receive from them may take a little while to fully understand. And here's why this matters. Your spirit guides will develop a relationship with you and you with your spirit guides. The act of receiving the message, writing it down, and recognizing it is part of building up that muscle and that relationship with them. Whether or not you're certain that this is happening is actually not important at this stage. It's just about the repetitive practice. You can actually do this exercise more than once, and it's possible that different guides may come forward. You can also ask for one guide to repeatedly come forward until you feel like you have a better sense of who they are. So for instance, if you did this exercise today and didn't understand what they looked like, you may want to try again in a week and try again a week later until you understand a little bit more about them and you're satisfied that you've identified this one specific spirit guide before moving on to another. On the flip side, if you feel like you've got a good sense of this one, you may want to try and ask for one that you have not yet talked to. One more thing before I go. You do not have to have your entire spirit guide team mapped, knowing each and every person's name, knowing all their functions, how they're going to arrive to you in order to get their guidance. You can just ask for the guidance. Take the messages as they come, and over time you will develop the ability to tell each guide apart, but it's actually not important that you do. The most important thing is to recognize the message and act on it. For me, I didn't always know that I had a Victorian lady and a yellow light and my main guide who sat next to me and didn't say anything for 2 years. I didn't know any of those details when I started, but I was receiving the messages all the same. You don't have to start with the certainty. You just start with the asking and then you see what arrives. If you want a structured place to practice this, I have a new Intuition for Beginners course starting on August 4th. You can join us in this very supportive environment to dive a little deeper into your own intuition and get to know your spirit guides. In this class, we cover what the clairs are, how to get information, and how to quiet your own mind, not to mention a last class on spiritual tools, which is super fun. Drop a comment below and let me know what you got out of this exercise. Even if it's just a color or sensation, I would love to know what worked for you. My name is Emily Snyder. As always, stay open, stay curious, stay connected with Connected Intuition.